Hello and welcome back to the Footballing Question podcast. This week we've had FA Cup action, and as always I'm hosting and we are back with Ashley and Jordan. Jordan wasn't here last week, he's now back again, and we are going to go into some tasty action. But first, opening question. I'll be honest, I couldn't really think of anything topical, so I just thought of a question we haven't really gone into. That's pretty minuscule. What is your favourite shirt number?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna jump straight into this one. A number that instantly springs to mind is 14. Watching Theo Walcott go like as an early
I love the way you went for Walcott first, not the obvious.
Right, as an Arsenal fan that comes into it at 2010-11, right, similar to how you did, the first 14 we knew of was Theo Walcott.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I can't remember what he was before, 52 or something like that. Right. To me, who at the time didn't know who Thierry Henry was because I've just come into it, Theo Walcott was my number 14. And then I found out about this fraud called Henry or something. short shirt, sorry. Anyway, no, I think 14 is by far mine. And Aubameyang gets, sorry.
Is Nketiah your favourite player right now?
He's one of them. And I hope he lives up to the legendary status of Theo Walcott.
I mean, I'll be honest, Nketiah, I'm 100% getting him on the shirt next season, just as a little sidetrack. Anyway, Jordan?
I mean, seven's quite an obvious one for me as well, and I quite like the number 7. However, for me, I just like the number 10. I think the number 10 on the back of a shirt is quite nice. I'm going number 10.
Yeah. I do just honourable mention to number 9. I do like number 9.
Number 9 is a good number.
I also like 20.
That's a bit obscure. Personally, the number I'd probably go with. It's tough because I think what would I like to play as, and what like number the number which I love the number 8.
Yeah.
It's round.
You
like
perfect. A round number.
It's lovely. It's symmetrical.
So much like you.
Wow. That is rude. No, but like it's a really nice number, and
he said it was round.
He can jog on with that, but the positions it's associated with, midfielders. How many great players have done the number 8? The Iniestas of this world, the Mikel Artetas, the Martin Odegaards. But number 8's my pick. Obviously, we had FA Cup action on the weekend instead of the Premier League, so we're just going to go into the fixtures, just nice and easy. So, City v Arsenal's on Friday. Mm-hmm. A lot of people thought about it. It would be maybe the prelude, the games coming up. And City were victorious, 1-0, Nathan Ake. What do you think? What are your thoughts of that?
Yeah, I think we talked about it the other day, and it's a strange situation because we've got Man City in the Premier League in a couple of weeks' time. And at the moment, undoubtedly, the most important thing for Arsenal is the Premier League. Probably for City as well. They want to catch us, they want to get in our heads a little bit. And this game was interesting because the fact that we've lost, right, I think gives us a little bit of an advantage because I think we played well in the game. I am convinced by Arsenal's performance, especially Trossard. I love the way he played as well, and I don't think we got battered like we have done against City in the past. So it's good signs. The best possible scenario out of this, Arteta gets a chance to look at this, understands where we went wrong in the goal at least, and works out a plan to definitely beat City 2 times, hopefully, going forward. But what did you think from an outside perspective, John?
I mean, it was quite. I can't lie. It was quite a boring game, wasn't it? It was very boring. I expect both teams not to set up anywhere near like they did in this game in the Premier League. I don't think they'll. I think City will play closer to what they played, but tactically speaking, I don't think they'll set up the same way. So I don't really think there's an advantage either way. It was.
Both sides, I think, didn't really want to show their cards.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't want to show what they're really about.
It's the thing, because it's the FA Cup, I think they were thinking, is it worth risking, showing our hand in this kind of game, or is it worth changing it up and trying to do it that way? And neither side really played awful. But it was a very tight match with our second team, and we can go away with confidence, knowing, do you know what? We went to their ground, we showed a good game of ourselves, and we can move on. And they'll be thinking, right, we've got the win. But, a lot of people are thinking whoever wins this has the mental edge going throughout the title race. And with the way the game went, that really wouldn't... It would have been 1-0 either way, pretty much, with the way game played. And both sides, it's not really changed anything for the title race, I don't think.
Me neither, no. I think the fact that we've been able to go away to arguably the best team in the country, usually anyway, and not get absolutely smacked off the park like we usually do, that is a massive sign that we can contend this season.
Nathan Ake's goal was very, very good as well.
Really well taken. It's not expected place for it to come from. It's actually the first goal Matt Turner's conceded for Arsenal from open play.
Yeah.
So it took him a while.
I can't help but hate the defending from Arsenal. I really can't. I think Saliba, he could have done better, but he hasn't. He's not the main man at fault. Sambi Lokonga has revealed yet again that maybe he's not up to the task.
I think Samuel Lokonga either needs to, get a permanent move, or maybe just get a loan. Just needs to get out of the situation.
Just
at
because of
Arsenal.
that goal.
No, not just because of that goal, but I think he just needs to not be there. I think he needs to go somewhere else where he can gain back his confidence, because I think his confidence at the moment is absolutely shot, and that's only going to impact your performances more and more.
A couple of teams have apparently bid.
Monaco bid 8 mil.
Would you take 8 million for Samuel?
I wouldn't want to see him go permanently.
I wouldn't be against it completely, because from what I've seen mentally, I don't know if he's cut out for it, but I think a loan would be the best move for him in January. If we get a midfielder in, I'd happily let him go on the final day.
Yeah.
On deadline day. But anyway, that's all of the City game. There was some other games, and we need to talk about probably one of the biggest underdog left in the tournament of the FA Cup. Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds' Wrexham, unfortunately drawing to Sheffield United.
95th minute.
95th minute equaliser by Sheffield United. Absolutely heart-wrenching stuff. What do you make of it, guys?
I quite like Wrexham. They're just quite nice, aren't they? The red card, you would really think they would push on a little bit more. I know they're not. I think Ryan Reynolds spoke before the game, and they're like 70 teams below Sheffield United right now, or something like that. And yeah, you would expect it. Even then, I think with a red card, you should push on. It's just sort of a blow when you score in the 86th minute as well. You think you're going to win a game like that, and then to lose that lead in the 95th minute. But you know what? In a way, I think it is quite good, because I like to see smaller teams go away to slightly bigger teams. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the replay.
Also, they're guaranteed that's going to be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Non-league playing championship. That's going. And if anything, when you're a non-league side, it's better to get a replay. Because it's more TV money, it's more money coming in, it's more games.
But when they had that potential in the last minutes of the game to go even further, and just get an even bigger chance of doing what you're saying, going away to a bigger team than Sheffield United, and they're a championship side. But can you imagine they beat Sheffield United and they go and get Man City in the next round?
That's
me
and John were talking about that. If they end up playing at the Etihad next round, that would be insane.
It would be,
because they don't even need to win. If they just show a good account of themselves, it's massive. And the thing is, with Wrexham, I love the project they're doing there. I've had Goldbridge had a go at it recently, saying it's just someone chucking money at a club. I'm like, it's not quite that. Yeah. It's because Wrexham's like a long, traditional club, and
it's going to take time to get to the top.
Yeah, they've gone through hardship, and it's them trying to get back into the league. And obviously you can maybe point at the signing of Paul Mullen from Cambridge and say, you've brought someone from the Football League to a level where he should not be playing. But that's his choice. He lives close to his family now, I'm pretty sure. But the project there, of this small Welsh town, is so nice. I still haven't watched the documentary, and I plan to. But yeah, I love what's going on, and I really hope they get the win in the replay at Bramall Lane. Yeah. So that wasn't actually the biggest story. Well, it probably was, but the story which we're going to lean on with the FA Cup this weekend was Brighton knocking out Liverpool at the last minute from a fantastic Mitoma goal. Probably one of the best goals you'll see this season.
What did you just call him?
Mitoma.
Matoma.
Oh, Mitoma, potato. Okay, Mitoma.
Meatball with a fantastic goal.
It's an absolutely phenomenal goal, and obviously it's the second time Brighton have beaten Liverpool in 3 weeks.
Yes, they thrashed them in the Premier League, and now they've returned to the FA Cup. Lewis Dunk got that equaliser, and as you say, luckily got that equaliser. But as you say, Matoma, what a goal! He's just unreal. He's come off the scene out of nowhere. There was promising signs of him before coming to Brighton. Before coming into the first team at Brighton this season, and there was words amongst the fans saying, this guy looks like a quality player. And just out of nowhere, what was it? He made his debut back in, not his debut, but he kind of broke into that team against Chelsea, I think it was, and had a fantastic World Cup, and now he's just showing his true talents. Really, that goal, like, what did you think about? I think it was unreal.
He was saying it's Bergkamp.
I saw people tweet it. I saw people tweet Bergkamp-esque, and I've got to say,
I think it is.
He did a fake shot mid-air. You've got to realise how mental it is. He did a fake shot. He had the ability to, in that moment, think, I'm just going to dink it here, so Gomez will move, and then it opens up the space. Like, the intelligence to do that and the instinct to do that in that second is near top class, like the pinnacle of football, to have that intelligence. And
remember the composure. Just to think about the different levels of composure as well. Not only is he in his first season in the top flight of English football, not only is he playing Liverpool in the FA Cup, but he is also in the 92nd minute of that match, and he just has the calmness to pull that off.
I don't think enough people are talking about the fact that Liverpool actually won the FA Cup last year.
Yeah, and the holders are out.
Yeah, like, you're right, completely. I forgot that.
It's insane.
I mean, they're holders of 2 tournaments, and in both those tournaments, League Cup and FA Cup, they've been knocked out both. They're only in the Champions League now, and obviously the Premier League, but I think the Premier League's way away. They're not winning the Premier League. Champions League, they've got Real Madrid. Not really going to happen. We're not going to touch on Liverpool too much, but with this Brighton project, you know, with the way it's going, they've been, so, you know, that win against Liverpool, like, and you know what? I don't think Liverpool went into the weekend as favourites.
I don't think so either.
No, absolutely not. And Brighton, they have this winning mentality as well. And we'll get on to what Andy Naylor talks about as well later on. But he has been talking about it a lot. Brighton have this new thing about them. They're confident and they know that they can go and beat these teams that are in a dodgy little patch. I mean, Brighton, they're 6th in the Premier League table, 31 points after 19 games. There's a when you go into their training ground, they built a new women's training ground in the summer, right? When you go in, there's a quote on the wall. And it's like, our ambition is to, I think it's something to do with, to get into the top 6 of the Premier League and break into the top, I think, 4 of the WSL for the Women's League. And I mean, with the men's, they're going to do it. They're on like a full track to do it. And whether the January transfer market affects that or not, I don't think it will too much. There was a big player missing. Should we say his name?
Well, look, like, it's funny that you say that, because I think it's about time we move on. You mentioned the transfer market. Obviously, some big breaking news happened on, was it Friday night? Yeah, because it was right after the Arsenal game. Arsenal on Friday morning bid £60 million for Caicedo, which was swiftly rejected by Brighton. I didn't think much of it. We hadn't been linked to him too much. And Chelsea had been linked with him before. That got rejected. And then just after the City game, MOISES Caicedo releases an Instagram post and on Twitter with a full statement. I'm going to read it out here. I've got the whole thing. And it's weird because it starts off with MOISES, like it's a full press release. I'm grateful to Mr. Bloom and Brighton for giving me the chance to come to the Premier League. I feel I've always done the best for them. I always play football with a smile and my heart, and with heart. I'm the youngest of 10 siblings from a poor upbringing in Santo Domingo in Ecuador. My dream always to be the most decorated player in the history of Ecuador. I'm proud to be able to bring in a record transfer fee for Brighton, which would allow them to reinvest it and help the club continue to be successful. The fans have taken me into their hearts. They will always be in my heart. So I hope they can understand why I want to take up this magnificent opportunity. It's just, when I first read that, it didn't come across like someone who hasn't signed for someone. That came across like something you say when there is a done deal. And he just said that because he'd seen 60 million and he thought, well, that's a record fee for Brighton. Do you know what? I think I'm worth that. I want to go. And his head's been completely turned. And obviously it's going to our club. It benefits us. But it's so unprecedented.
It's a massive thing because I think it's put Brighton fans on a massive backstep as well, because they're a little bit like, oh, hang on a minute, you can have Trossard, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not Caicedo, he carries our team, and he does. And I mean, he wasn't in the side that faced Liverpool, and they still did well without him. But he is just a huge part, and it is definitely ruffled the feathers of the journalists that cover Brighton, that respect Brighton, that want them to do well. I mean, Andy Naylor last night. I mean, first of all, let's touch on Arsenal. Then added, 65 million.
Yeah, we put another bid which was 65 plus 5 million add-ons. That got rejected within half an hour. Couldn't even last 45 minutes. It was hilarious. But,
this morning as well.
Oh, we put another bid in this morning.
What's 70 million now? Yeah.
Well,
no, that was last night.
Yeah, but you just said 65.
Well, no, 65 plus 5 equals 70.
Right, okay. I thought it was 70 plus 5 or something.
No, yeah. That was just detailing what the actual bid was. But yeah, like you said, journalists not happy with it. And it's like they're on such a high, they're starting to get... I don't get it, because the reaction from Brighton journalists is very much like we've spat in the face of Brighton by bidding 60 million. And I don't look. Look, the market's got crazy. Let's be honest, the market's got crazy. But bidding 60 million for someone who's played 26 Premier League games is not. I think that's a very respectable fee. And I saw a Brighton fan compare it to bidding 10 million for Saka, which I think is an absolute joke.
I think it's absolutely.
I mean, Saka in the current market, I don't even want to even think about how expensive he probably is. But
do you think Caicedo is worth 70 million?
Yes.
Really?
I think in the current market, around that, 80 would be pushing the barrel out.
Yeah, and I've got.
And that's what would take it.
I think 70 is ridiculous. I mean, in the modern market, maybe it makes sense because of
From what I've seen
how
from
overpriced players are. But I don't think Caicedo is worth 70 million.
How much would you pay for Declan Rice?
For Declan Rice? In the modern market, he's obviously going to be worth more. And
How much,
the
exactly?
fact that he's English is also going to be worth it.
The thing with
No,
Declan,
but if you were United, how much would you put forward for Declan Rice right now?
if you're in a bidding war
Or
with
if
someone
you,
else,
yeah, you genuinely
what's your
want him,
statement?
what are you going for? How much?
Because the thing is, yeah,
I'd say 80 to 100.
80 to 100.
yeah.
There's literally
And
stats.
that's what Caicedo's been.
Yeah, and I agree with
Rallied
it.
at.
I
Yeah.
think there's literally stats pointing to how Caicedo offers the same kind of results
Well,
as Declan Rice.
I don't think we should get too trapped into Declan Rice because
But
if you look at the average position of Caicedo, he's actually not really being used as a six at Brighton. He's very much like high pressing and being used as an 8. And I think if we sign him, we will use him as party backup predominantly. But from what I've heard from Arsenal dressing room, I've seen on social media, it very much seems like he's not going to be in the way of signing Declan Rice in the summer. They would still try and do that. And also, the thing with Declan Rice is Caicedo's still got a few years on his contract. That's helping his fee be higher.
Yeah.
Declan Rice, he's got 1 year left on it after the summer. That bumps that down, and they will probably go for about the same fee if we say sign both of them. And
The thing with Caicedo as well, I think it's very similar with a lot of teams. I think Anthony Gordon is very likely to do it again. You know, when a player puts in sort of this, I want to leave. There's been a bid for him, and straight away, I want to leave. Right? I don't like that.
No, I don't respect it.
Can you sleep well at night if you sign Caicedo thinking, oh yeah, he'll not do that again?
I think that's the risk you've got to take.
I think when you're a young player, something's concerned. And I think if we sign him, I think if whoever signs him, whether it be Arsenal or any club, what they would do is instantly go, right, I'm glad we've got you, but don't do that again.
I think it's the same with Trossard as well.
Oh no, with Trossard it's very different because
But
he's late in his career, short-term contract. I don't think Arsenal are planning to keep him.
We've had that situation happen to us so many times that I'm
player-
not actually
yeah.
too worried. There was a lot of conversation when Aubameyang joined us. Dortmund fans telling us this guy's trouble. He will kick up a fuss when he wants to leave, and he will not adhere to the rules. He won't put himself across well at all. And look what happened. We've had numerous times of players have stabbed us in the back and gone to play people like Manchester United and won titles. If you're Moises Caicedo right now, you're 21. As he said, he's got a poor family back home. I'm sure he's on a good wage at Brighton, and I'm sure that's doing fine for
He's
himself.
actually not. He's on around 3k a week.
3K a week.
So the fining,
Right.
he hasn't been fined yet, but if he does get fined, that's probably about 10 weeks of his wage gone.
On a side point, Brighton could very easily fix this by bumping up his contract.
Genuinely, yeah,
But,
exactly.
on the other end of things, though, you literally get the team that is potentially about to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Although he's about to do something special at Brighton, think about this: if you are him, would you rather try and get Brighton into the top 6? And that isn't a remarkable achievement in
Brilliant,
itself.
yeah.
Or would you rather come with potentially win the Premier League with Arsenal, or not win it this season, but win multiple trophies with an Arsenal team that is really developing later on? Like, what would you rather do?
Oh, obviously win the league.
I mean, it's very clear that it's not like he just. The thing is, when Chelsea put their bid in, which is only 5 mil lower than Arsenal's original bid, they rejected it immediately. Caicedo brought out a statement saying, "I'm fine with my time here." He was adamant that he was fine, and it's the bid that Arsenal which turned his head clearly,
Yes.
and it's the fact that Arsenal are top of the table, and when you're a young player, when a club's at the top of the table interested in you, that's gonna turn your head. I think he's been ill-advised by his agents. I think.
Yeah, and I think that's very much agreed. I mean, Andy Naylor tweeted, "I really think it's about time Moises Caicedo reps and Arsenal get the message. He's going nowhere in this window."
Yeah, but the thing is, if your club is bullying your player into staying against their will, I think sometimes it's better to just let them go. And I think, obviously, the Brighton, PR train, the Brighton journalists, they want to, keep face, and they want to, go. No, they need to keep their image strong, and I 100% respect that. And I do feel with Caicedo, because originally the story was he will not be sold at all. And then slowly but surely, the news has been drip-fed that they accept 100, that they accept 90, that they accept 80.
And I think the other standpoint we've got to look at it as well, right? If you're Brighton, what are you thinking?
Well,
Because I think what you put across was an interesting point. Is Caicedo going to stab us in the back in the future? And right, let's put the scenario, right, okay? Saka gets an offer from Barcelona or Real Madrid in 4 years' time. Real Madrid are on the top of their game. No, just let me explain, right? And Saka puts out on his social media that he wants to leave. And we're halfway through the season and we're about to potentially, I don't know, kick on and do something for Arsenal. It's going to be good. I don't know, maybe
Win the Champions League.
win the Champions League, contest with the Premier League again. And we're halfway through the season and Real Madrid coming for Saka because they also want to win the Champions League and because they also want to win their league in the Liga as well, right? And Saka's, I don't know, he's 26, he's in his prime or something like this, right? How would you feel if he's just gone to put that out on social media?
I'd do exactly what Brighton have done, and I would only accept the deal if they get our thing. And I wouldn't negotiate unless if they bid what we want. I would go, right, 250 million.
Okay.
Give me that.
Yeah.
You can have him.
So
That's what I'd do.
think that's-
And with Brighton, it's very
Okay.
much they've gone, right, we won't even negotiate. We won't even consider a bid unless if you break through that margin.
We had a conversation similar to this.
We
last
literally
night,
did
right?
say this last night.
Forget Saka, right? The exact same situation with Odegaard.
No.
Then what are you doing?
He's in prison.
Because it could happen,
I'm
right?
not letting that guy leave.
Real Madrid could literally come in and sweep Odegaard out. Right?
I'm not letting
You're
that
not
guy
letting
leave.
it happen.
I'm not letting that guy leave.
So
He's trapped.
And when Brighton are literally, like, I know Arsenal haven't won a Premier League in a long time, but we have won a Premier League. Brighton have never got to these heights in the history of their football
Here's the
club.
thing. From Brighton's perspective, everything they're doing makes sense. You're not going to fall over at this pinnacle. All the power is with them. With Arsenal haven't really done anything. They've looked at a target, they've bid for a target. Caicedo's the issue in all of this. And I think from Arsenal, they're looking at a target. They need to get someone in, to help that title charge. From Brighton's perspective, is keeping Caicedo from the best of the season, knowing what he's done. Are they just going to forgive and forget immediately as soon as he's back in the lineup?
no,
because
because that's the mistake he's made.
Yeah, from Brighton's perspective, if you're a Brighton fan, you're going to be happy that you're going to have someone who willingly put in a transfer request and willingly down tools immediately, because if you are, then you're not the club that you want to be. If they want to develop into the bigger club, they need to put their foot down and go, right, no. But I think
on that, if I was Brighton, I'd sell him. No.
Yeah. Well, no, but they're not going to.
Fee.
But the thing is, I think I'll be honest. My gut tells me that. My gut tells me that's the way it's going. But the Brighton journalists and everything, they can't say that.
Yeah.
They can't release that
They
information.
also don't want that to
I know they
happen.
don't. They, obviously, in their dreams, they want Caicedo to turn around and do that. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think, in terms of the way it's going, they're very much keeping strong, and it's who blinks first, and it's whether, and it's I think, obviously, all the bids have been rejected. If Arsenal say put in an 80 million bid with maybe 5 million add-ons, I would think there, if that doesn't get rejected within the first hour, I'd go, oh, okay, this has legs. Because both the bids have been rejected within like 20 minutes.
So if something lasts longer than 20 minutes...
If a bid lasts
Arsenal-
longer than an hour, I'm going to go, I think we have him. Because that means they're negotiating.
He doesn't start for you.
No, he doesn't. You don't, in the middle of a title-winning season, you don't just chuck someone into your starting lineup. I say that. I say that. I'd lovely. I don't mind Trossard starting next week, but
what I'm saying here is, although he's moving to a side that could potentially win the Premier League, whatever, he's not gonna play. He's guaranteed to be the main man at Brighton for the rest of the season at least.
yeah.
I don't understand why he's done it.
Well, here's the thing.
He's made the massive mistake here, I think.
Yeah.
What if he hasn't done? What if he puts it off? And then he moves to Arsenal and he wins the league.
Here's the thing. You look at but you look at Arsenal. Here's the thing. Not a lot of people are realising this. You look at our midfield. You've got Odegaard, captain, lovely, 24, 25, whatever. But then you've got Xhaka and Partey are going to be 30 and 31 at the start of next season. The replacements need to be made kind of now. So if we talked Caicedo, which we probably have already at some point, like talked to him and told him what his role would be, we'll probably tell him, look, you will be, part of the second team. You'll get little bit minutes in the Premier League. Yeah. You'll probably end up with, will be in contention for maybe a Premier League title. But going forward, you will have this big role in the team. We'll develop you and coach you into this role, and you can push forward. And that's realistically it. And it's whether or not. And I think
El Neni's injured. as
Oh,
well.
and he's injured as well. So
We actually
meaning he
need it.
got the amount of minutes he gets immediately. He would probably start the Europa League, and
Would you, for Manchester United right now, and I know your midfield's doing decently at the moment, but if you were in our situation, would you sign Caicedo?
Well, Eriksen's injured now.
Yes.
well, no, but if you were in our
Because it's hard to replicate it onto another club. isn't it?
If I was
In
in,
the
your
title charge.
situation right now,
5 points clear.
signing him for your standpoint, probably does make sense. Yes. However, I just think Caicedo's gone about it the wrong way, and I've lost respect for him.
Yeah, it's just I think because he's a young player, I'm willing to forgive and forget because sometimes you can get lost up in the moment of things. And
Yeah, and as well, I think he
it's-
might be better off signing him in the summer.
I don't know because I think in the summer there'll be more. I think the reason we're in for Caicedo is because in January your options are so limited.
And what if next season we don't go for a Premier League title?
In
What
the
if we're not in the contention?
In the summer, we're not. In the summer, if we don't get Caicedo now, I don't think we get him at all. I think in the summer we'd maybe go for there will be cheaper options available who could fit in.
Here's the thing: what if we're not? Well, the thing is, in the situation you're in, I would say if you win the league this year, if you want to be in with a chance of continuing that and doing it again, you'd make the best possible signings in the summer.
Yeah, why not do it?
I don't think it's a question of what if we're not. You make the signings to be in it, to guarantee it.
Yeah, okay. From a longevity standpoint and looking at the way Arsenal have done things recently, that makes sense. Yeah. But at the same time, my heart's telling me this is it. Throw everything at it and just go for it. Because there's literally, okay, right, we could be contending for the titles for the next 4 years and Man City could go and be on 107 points every single season and we could never win the league. But we could be in with a fight, into a standpoint, we could be a better club but we'd never win the league. This is it. This is just it. Throw all the money at everything. If you have to sign Caicedo and Declan Rice right now, just do it. Just throw everything at it. Okay. Sell off the Emirates. I don't care. Let's just try and win the league.
Hey you!
Yeah?
Yes, you!
How did you get in my house?
Do you like YouTube?
Yeah?
Sometimes find it a bit dull?
No, I love YouTube.
Then you should subscribe to the Football in Question YouTube channel.
Why?
They've got podcast clips, original content, and also they have your family hostage.
What?
Like I said, subscribe now!
If you want to see your family again, subscribe now.
Mum?
So, as mentioned, we are at the latter stages of the January transfer window. We're filming this with less than 48 hours left for clubs to get their deals done. There's been obviously many deals across Europe, but what I'm going to ask you for this debate, who is the best signing of the window so far?
For me, and I think I'm looking at this and who will be the most successful at their club, and there's different ways you can look at this question. But I think that the real talent that I see, that by far out of all these players, is Mykhailo Mudryk. Okay, I just think he looks like a robot. He looks like a Haaland-esque player, just faster. Don't look at me like that.
I don't know where you're getting this from.
Haaland-esque.
He's played 30 minutes. I don't know where you've got this from.
Just let me finish my point. I think the way he just looks. You know when everyone was talking about Haaland, he looks like someone who just isn't fazed by anything, and he just looks like a robot. I just get that impression from Mudryk, and I just think that he is going to be a far better talent than any other signing in this window.
I don't know where you've got robot from. I think he's the opposite of a robot. But really? He's very free playing, and I think you've got his play style completely wrong.
No, I'm not saying.
No.
Look, he's a machine. He's fast. He's quick, and he just comes into things.
If he's a machine, why didn't he score at Liverpool? Because machines do their job.
Go
on, Jordan.
This is going to be a fun debate, isn't it? I have gone for a move outside of the Premier League.
Interesting.
I have gone for Memphis Depay going to Atletico Madrid. Now, on the surface, it doesn't really seem like a whole lot. I mean, did Depay really do a whole lot at Barcelona? Sort of. You know what? Maybe he didn't perform to the exact standards we might have expected him to. But looking at stats just now, at Barcelona last season, 12 goals in La Liga. It's not a bad return for 28 games.
It's not horrific.
It's not horrific, that's for sure.
Which always makes for a good signing.
And Depay, he hasn't done amazingly in some of his stints at clubs, Man United, for example. But you got to remember he is the second leading goal scorer in Netherlands history, behind Robin van Persie. And what stands out for me with this deal is the price tag, because it's €3 million, which in pounds is £2.63 million, which for a player like Memphis Depay is absolutely unbelievable. How on earth? I know the situation with Barcelona is insane, but I mean, for a player like Depay to go to a direct rival at that for such a little amount of money is unbelievable. And considering they got rid of João Felix, I know it's only on loan, but Depay, it's a fantastic signing.
Atletico are just kind of poaching off Barcelona. They're just watching it fall apart and going, yeah, we'll have it. We'll have Suarez. Yeah, we'll have Griezmann. Yeah, Depay. And it just seems like they're really milking the fact that Barcelona need to reduce their wage bill.
Yeah, I mean that's why the fee's so low. That like Barca are just in such a financially awful situation. They've been like that for the last 2 years. It doesn't really feel like it's ever going to be cured, at least in the short term. And that's why they're going to continue having to like accept the low fees and just go, right, just get them out on these high wages. And that's what happens when you sign people who are 30 on like 200 grand. It's going to bite you in the backside. But
who's your signing? Sorry?
My signing, drum roll please. Obviously, it is an Arsenal signing. I'm going with Leandro Trossard. I think for what Arsenal need and for what Arsenal are looking at, to get someone who's got Premier League experience, has performed against big sides at the top flight, and is ready, can fit into the side pretty quickly, as we've seen, I think, already in the 2 games he's played. I don't think he's looked like he's struggled in our system too much. And to get him for a fee that we got him for 21 million with add-ons, and if we end up paying those add-ons if we win the Premier League, it's a successful signing, because that's what he's here to do. When you compare him statistically to who he's probably going to be most compared with, Martinelli, they've both got the exact same stats in the Premier League: 7 goals, 2 assists, and that's kind of helpful because Martinelli's, I think, in the last 2 games not played as great, and I think having Trossard here is going to maybe help him, keep up, because before that he didn't really have too much competition behind him, and having that extra man. And not just who can play on the left, he's versatile. Yeah. If we get another injury up front, he could happily fill in up front. Having that extra touch of versatility in the front line where we've not really had depth, and that extra source of goals is the kind of thing you need to get over the line in a title race. And for what Arsenal need and for the price we've got him, if I have someone fit and ready like that, it is kind of almost perfect in terms of what we could have got in January.
In terms of value for money right now, your 2 deals absolutely trump mine.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay? I mean, most likely. We don't know how Depay's going to perform the rest of the season. We don't know how Mudryk.
To be fair, but Depay could play awful and you still go 2 mils a bargain.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I do agree with that. And I'm happy with Trossard as well as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
I really am. I think he's a great player. But I still, if I could choose right now, and I know it's a lot of money. Let's take money away from this right now.
I'll be honest, I really don't think you can.
The thing is, right, with this debate is we don't know what's going to happen. How long ago did you sign Trossard?
We signed him
2 weeks ago.
A week and a bit ago.
Yeah, it's like not that long ago. It's not that long amount of time to judge. We can only judge on 1, what we've seen in the past couple of weeks, which isn't exactly much, and 2, on the price tag. I think
no, but potential as well.
I mean, potential. Okay.
I mean, if Man City signed Harry Maguire and Chelsea signed Mudryk, I think that affect. You look at potential.
Okay, yeah.
So
I think the hard thing is because we know a lot about Depay, because he's been in the top 5 leagues. We know more because we don't know much about Mudryk, because he's been playing in the Ukrainian league, and also he's not played too much in the Ukrainian league. He's not been playing in the top 5 for too long. He's somewhat a bit of an unknown because we're relying not on that much evidence. We're relying on this season in the Champions League, where he's shown glimpses and his sprints, and his dribbles. And I do think he's a good player, but there's still we don't know whether he's going to be what we think he's going to be. And
if I could have chosen though, between Mudryk and Trossard, just Mudryk all day. I really think it is. I think Mudryk is going to be an absolute world beater. And I think he's going to win multiple trophies. I think he's going to eventually go on to Real Madrid and be one of the new Galacticos and win the Ballon d'Or or something like that. I really think he's going to be a terrific player.
What are you basing that off?
Just of what I've seen with him. He just looks insane. Like what people saw of Haaland before he went to Dortmund. You know, he just.
I think it's
like
nowhere
not-
near the
yeah,
Haaland
yeah,
thing.
it's not-
Haaland
I
was
think
looking like an
similar.
absolute goal machine from minute one, everywhere he's been, and Mudrik's just the output in terms of goals and assists is decent, but it's not like anywhere near Haaland level.
I think okay, it's not near Haaland levels. I get that, but I just think he looks insane on the ball. I think he looks like something that we haven't really seen in a long time for the Premier League. Maybe not since maybe Ronaldo burst onto the scene. Genuinely. No, the play style.
The things you're saying are fine, but it's the
I'm not
comparisons
saying-
to Haaland.
no, listen.
Joel, like if you compare him to Hazard, I'd accept it.
Okay, maybe Hazard.
There you go.
As well.
Like, okay, with Mudryk, I think he can dribble and he has pace. That's it.
We need to. I think with Mudryk,
I think
it's
there's
so
a
hard.
reason people, these two clubs are willing to spend 80 million on him. It's not just that he's fast and he can dribble.
No, but like what I'm saying is,
the price tag is ridiculous.
what I'm saying is,
Why are
we
they
need
paying
to-
that much for him? Because
I
they've
don't
looked
know.
at
They're paying that much because Shakhtar asked for 100 million.
yeah, but they wouldn't touch it. And Shakhtar wouldn't be asking for 100 million if they didn't know he was
Well, no,
was potentially worth.
If there was
one,
one club in for it, it wouldn't have been 100 million. The fact that two clubs are involved means the
there
price.
was one club in for it for a long time.
Yeah. And Chelsea,
they didn't get him.
and then no, but it was two. Chelsea came in with bids early on, and that bumped it to 70. Arsenal increased it by like 10, and then before you know it, Chelsea get a whiff of it. Arsenal then have to go all the way up to 95. They go up to 100. It is like that, and also it's 100 because I believe they did use the Anthony deal in the summer as a justification because it's a player coming from a league outside the top five, a winger with impressive stats from that league, going for 85, and they were like, well, if Anthony's doing that, Mudryk's a very similar situation for a player who's around the same age and performing.
I do understand that, and I do.
And that's why it's not an individual basis.
What hinders my argument is that I do think Anthony was an overflated price tag. I do think that. Right?
There we go.
So, okay, that doesn't help me. I do think though what I've seen of Mudryk is better than Anthony. Though I like Mudryk more than Anthony. I
If he does Anthony,
Oh my God, that is ridiculous. How many minutes has? Okay, so you're judging what you've seen of Mudryk. So I'm assuming a couple of compilations on YouTube
and 30 minutes
and
for
30
Chelsea.
minutes against Liverpool.
in a 30 minutes against Liverpool in a
you think
0-0 draw.
What you've seen from that is better than what you've seen from Anthony this season.
It's ambitious, but no, I don't think that what he's seen.
That's
is
what
better
you
than
just
Anthony this
said!
season. No, but I think that if I could choose whether to sign Anthony or Mudryk at the start, I would have gone with Mudryk. I like Mudryk's play style more than Anthony, and I think we've seen the irregularities in Anthony's play. I think Anthony's a decent player, but I think putting Mudryk up to that price tag is more justifiable than Anthony.
Here's the thing. I don't. If we
I
talk,
think
if we talk, if we
there as
talk about
well.
the signings, and I mentioned a lot of what Trossard can do for Arsenal. In terms of what Mudryk can do for Chelsea, Chelsea are a club who aren't doing too great, and they've spent 100 million on a winger when their midfield is right there with a gaping hole in it.
But you were loving all the Mudryk stuff.
I'm talking about Chelsea. I'm talking about what it means for Chelsea.
No, and I get that. I get that the
because
fact,
now
sorry,
they've got like they've got like 6 wingers who are all on high wages and want to play games.
I get that. And I understand that, Trossard right now will help Arsenal potentially win the title. But I think if you had the choice, right, between Mudryk and Trossard in this window, you would have gone Mudryk yourself.
If I knew it was Trossard for that fee, and we could sign other players, and it wouldn't hinder our summer, I would have gone Trossard because Trossard, there's no time to get him into the system. There is no time in that. And in a league, when you're trying to win a title, let me ask you right now, what signing would have Sir Alex made? Would he have gone to a fellow Premier League team and picked up a team from them? Or would he have gone to the Ukrainian League and took a punt? No, he would have gone to the Premier League team, which he did time and time again. He's the most proven winner in this country.
I think we've unpicked yours enough. I think
I
we
know.
need to move.
It's just because I've been annoyed.
Let's just unpick each other's realistically. Go ahead, unpick the pie because
the only thing we can unpick there is the player itself because the fee is just. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I don't care if he does nothing. Like 2 million shouldn't get you a player of his value.
Yes.
Like, how old is he now? 31?
He's pushing on a bit.
But
And
still,
when you consider as well the fact that Chelsea have just gone and how much is their loan fee for João Felix? Like 16 or
yeah, they spent more on a loan than a permanent deal.
Yeah.
That's
And there's that funny stat as well. Like when you work out how many games how much money each game João Felix is worth compared to how much potentially 12 goals in La Liga is worth for Memphis Depay. That is an outstanding.
if he
deal.
I mean, obviously Atletico, are a little bit outside of the title race. It's very much between Barcelona and Real Madrid, and João Felix has gone. But to lose João Felix on loan and then to immediately get someone like Depay for 2 million, it's quite.
It's a
very good
it's
business.
A fantastic
It's
deal.
great
Do you think
business,
it's better than Trossard?
and it's.
Do I think it's better? Do I think it's a better deal than Trossard? Yeah.
Do you think it's better than Madrid?
I think it's definitely better than Madrid.
I think it's definitely better. I mean, compared to if you compare 2 mil, if you compare 2 mil to 100,
I
it very
think-
much
I
doesn't
think-
get close.
Okay, deal wise, yeah. Okay, the value, fair enough.
For value and for the club and the
Like,
way they fit, you know, he's
yeah.
filling a gap which has been made immediately by João Felix. Mudryk is filling in
I
a
think
Sterling injury.
there's
which-
holes.
To
There's
spend 100 mil
holes.
on that is a bit stupid.
There's holes in all of our thing. Obviously, the age of Depay is an issue. How he's done in other leagues.
What's the holes for Trossard?
I don't think there is a hole for Trossard. Age is
Who starts, Martinelli or who's a better player, Martinelli or Trossard, in your opinion?
I'm not entirely sure. I think
Who
the
starts?
issue is
Who starts?
I don't know.
Exactly.
That's
is
not.
that
That's a
the
good.
hole?
Do you realise that's a good problem to
Yeah,
have?
is
No,
that-
but
is that
You shouldn't have.
I do think that
in
I
a
do
title
think
race,
that's
you
a
shouldn't have someone who is clearly worse than the starter.
No,
'Cause then when he gets
no.
injured, you're crap.
That's not what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm saying
What
it's not a hole.
What I think there is a hole there because I think there is a question mark about. I personally think Martinelli does start ahead of Trossard in the Premier League. I don't know what you guys
But
think.
does that mean that that's a bad sign?
No. But what I'm saying is you have the quality there anyway. Fair play. You're bringing in a player. They're all good. All of ours have good points as well, and I do think Trossard is a good signing. However, I think the question mark of whether he starts over Martinelli is, in a way, a bit of a hole. Because does it not hinder Martinelli in a way?
No, I think it makes him better. In the last 2 games, I think Martinelli's actually been worse.
Exactly.
And I think no, but you know what? You need competition. You should have competition. It's better to have competition than none, and having that's good. And
This sort of reminds me of the situation with Reyes in the Invincible season, and
Yeah.
he comes in and he's kind of like, he's taking Bergkamp's spot potentially. He's coming into the side
Yeah.
and he's kind of breaking the team up. But
Yeah.
the energy that he brought and the depth that he brought helped us win the league undoubtedly. So maybe it just helps him. I'll be honest, right?
As well.
Can I say? I'll wholeheartedly admit you two have ripped me apart.
I didn't plan on it, but it was just the sudden. When you started off with the robot claims and the Haaland and the
No,
Ronaldos.
I'm still backing that. I still back what I said.
Okay, that's making me.
But you've just beaten me fair and square, right? But and I still think Mudryk will go on to be a better player than both of yours. But I would admit I've been beaten.
He's going to go on to be a better player than Memphis Depay in a way because he's younger. It's going to prove to be a better signing.
Oh, sorry.
It might prove to be a better signing in the future. The thing about this is I don't think we can come to a
No,
full-on
I don't
conclusion.
think we can because it's so hard. It's like fee, quality, what they
Yeah.
do to the club.
You're winning by far. I don't know why you're not just taking.
Oh, no, look, okay, fine. I think.
I don't want to just bias the
Because
whole
at the end of the
thing,
day,
but
look, my player fits the club. It's an
think Depay
immediate.
fits that place, okay.
I know they both. They both fit what they need. In
to be honest-
terms of fee, yours is an absolute abomination.
To be
It's
honest,
irregularity.
right, to be honest, I think they are very, very similar, and the only thing that beats it is the fact that Trossard is younger.
And also, I think the fact that
No, they're the same
and
age.
also,
They're
I
the same
think
age.
If
no,
they're-
no,
if they're the
not.
same-
Memphis Depay's not 28.
Yeah,
No.
I've just looked at
Is
it.
he actually?
He's 31.
It's just 28. Or 94. It's not 31, mate. He was like a youngster for Manchester United not long ago. I
Yeah,
remember
that's
it.
true. For 2 million?
He's 28, yeah.
For 2 million?
Here's what my thing. I think
If anything, I think that makes it even better.
No, here's the thing.
from what we've
With
seen,
I think the only thing which I think gives Trossard the edge is the fact that Arsenal are in a title race, and that makes it that more
potential.
in demand.
Okay.
And to get him on a cheaper deal when the fact that Brighton are demanding 80 for like Caicedo,
Okay.
and we've managed to get Trossard in the same window just for like 21.
Does it not concern you that Trossard threw his... I'm going to make the exact same point as
Oh,
you did to Caicedo.
did he really?
Did he throw his toys out the pram and force a move away? Yes.
I think there was a lack of communication between both parties.
I still
And
think he forced a move away.
Did he post on Instagram a transfer request?
I mean, it's different in that way, but it's the same in the fact that he...
didn't Depay
wanted
do
to
that
move
with
away.
Leon in Barcelona?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but...
So is it a bad time signing someone who could do that again?
I mean...
Think how easily Barcelona let him go.
I think... Did you just say think how easily Barcelona let him go? When you just literally told me that the price is because of the wage structure at the club. and that they
but
need
also
to
they
get
look-
rid of players.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
they looked at their players and thought, right, which one's
Yeah,
the
which
worst?
one
We're
on
not
high
gonna
wages
off.
can we get rid of? They've gone, not you, not you, not you.
Realistically,
Right.
they've got, Atletico Madrid have also poached off a rival as well, a
I
massive
don't
rival.
know if
at that.
Atletico Madrid with the
I
way they've
think-
been performing. I don't know if they are a direct rival.
Like I said, I don't think we can come to a conclusion because we don't know what's going to happen.
I think
but
we can come to a conclusion.
Okay, I think the fact that he's coming to a conclusion, I think
you
I am.
told me before this, we're not going to come to a conclusion.
Yeah, but I
the
didn't think the
debate.
debate. I didn't think the debate would go this way.
You
Okay,
can't just make up the result of the debate before the episode. Right. I think, fair enough to you, mate. You're good at these
Okay.
things, and
No,
you put forward
no,
good
no,
arguments
fair enough.
for Depay. No, let me talk, man.
let me talk.
There's I think you've put together a very decent argument for Depay, as you do every single week, because looking at it on paper, I thought Trossard was going to completely defeat Depay. So well done, you've done well. But I think the thing that solves this is that, I mean, when was Depay done? It was quite recently, right?
Yeah.
Has he played a game for Atletico? One game. I feel like, I mean, did he do well?
You
I
don't
mean,
know.
I didn't really watch the game.
Oh,
So
poor research.
That's the thing, right? So
I
based off
haven't
the
watched
fact
the
that we
game.
don't know how he was for Atletico, right? And based off the fact that
one
Depay
game.
has also not had a very good season in La Liga, right? And Trossard has had a good season in the Premier League and has already played well for Arsenal.
Last season was a pretty good season for Depay.
No,
6
right
months
now
ago.
though. But right now, if Trossard,
Also, Trossard's record
Yeah.
against the Big Six.
right
Hat-trick at
now,
Anfield.
Okay.
right now, who's had a better season and who's already played well for their club so far and who's already proven themselves to be a better signing, I go for Trossard. If I'm deciding this, if you're sticking with your answer,
Oh, I'm sticking with Leandro.
then I'm going with Trossard, and I
Okay.
will admit I've been thrashed by Madrid with Madrid.
Okay, I think we're in agreement. I think the best signing of the window so far is Leandro Trossard. So it's that time of the episode. We're going to have to start off with the
I haven't
quiz.
done something
Oh,
in a while. I missed last week. And you know what? I have to make up for it. It's Jordan's Fact of the Week. Jordan's Fact of the Week is back. It hasn't been about for a little while now. So here we go. You know, this fact is actually sort of on topic with the episode. It's about Brighton and Hove Albion. And did you know that from 1966 to 1977, Brighton were known as the Dolphins? And it wasn't until a little battle between fans in a pub that they became the Seagulls. They were in a pub in Brighton with Crystal Palace fans chanting back and forth, Crystal Palace chanting Eagles, to which Brighton responded Seagulls. And that is the reason they are called the Seagulls, and they completely changed their brand.
I actually love that they've changed the entire brand of their club just for that. The rivalry with Palace was that. It was still
Yeah.
it was big back then.
Yeah.
come on,
I kind of respect the M23 derby even more now because I thought it was just because they, battled for the playoffs like 20 years ago. Like,
But yeah, apparently a battle between fans with Crystal Palace saying Eagles and Brighton responded Seagulls is the reason that we know Brighton as they are today.
I really like that fact. Anyway, we're going to go on with the quiz. No real particular theme here. There are some things to do with things I've said in the episode, and the rest are all, let's just say, certain themes to do with the FA Cup and our clubs. So let's begin. Episode.
Bang.
Oh, there we go.
I've already thought about that. I thought he's not going to do that.
You're doing.
I'm doing that.
Jordan's
You're actually
bang.
doing it?
I'm doing that.
Jordan's bang. Question 1.
Mind games from the outset.
As we know, Brighton beat Liverpool on the weekend in the FA Cup. In their entire history, Brighton have beaten Liverpool 7 times. How many of those are at the Amex?
Bang.
Bang. Oh, I'm not bang.
I'm going to take a random guess and say 4.
Ding.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Correct.
Amex was
They've
better
won
than
at home, but they've only beaten them at home at the Amex this season, twice.
Okay.
The Amex
And they've
was
only
better
won
than-
once. They've only won once at Anfield.
The Amex was only built like 2011. So.
Yeah.
I thought 4 because it's sort of like near the middle.
I
so
put the
thought-
Amex in there to do it. We trip someone up because they've got more than 2 home wins, but that's in like the 80s and the 60s. But since the Amex was built, they've only beaten Liverpool twice there.
Fair play.
I thought I'd be a little bit sneaky. So that's 1-0 to Ashley. Second question here. This is about both our clubs, right? And I've got a few Arsenal and Man United joint questions here. It was the FA Cup on the weekend, obviously, but in which season did Arsenal Man United last meet in the FA Cup? What was the last season that we both played each other in the FA Cup?
Bang. 2016?
Incorrect.
2015, 16, I thought it was.
No, it was recent, and I just need to crunch some numbers.
I'm going to give you like
Hang
5
on,
seconds.
He answered quick.
So-
Because I remember the game. Because I'm pretty sure it was the game when Jesse Lingard danced. I think it was that game.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to-
I think you got it. I think
It's 2017-18.
I think you've got it.
Incorrect. You're thinking of the game where we lost in the league, which actually was the same score. And it was 3-1, 18-19. It was Unai Emery managing Arsenal. And Alexis Sanchez opened the scoring. Jesse Lingard doubled the lead. Aubameyang pulled one back. And instead of De Gea having a great goalkeeping performance, it was Romero in goal who had a good goalkeeping performance. And Martial rounded off the scoring, 3-1. And
That's got him.
yeah,
I had the game,
18-19 season.
I was going to go first, and we were in our stripy blue kit.
You were thinking of the time we beat
Yeah.
them at Old Trafford, and you still got the season wrong. It was 14-15. But yeah,
we
it
won
is.
we won the FA Cup that year, didn't we?
When we beat them at Old Trafford? Yeah. Anyway, so that's 2 questions
What
in.
goalkeeper Romero was?
He's one of the best number 2s in recent
Where
memory.
is he now?
I don't know.
I think
Oh
he
god!
went
Oh
back
god!
to-
I've just realised. I've literally just ruined. I forgot. I didn't look at the next question.
Go on, just
The next question was what's the score? I've just said. So I'm an idiot.
Oh,
Oh damn.
Ding, 3-1.
Joe, instead of it, I'm going to replace the question. What round was the game?
God, what?
Think about it. You know, the FA Cup for Premier League teams starts in the 3rd round.
Yeah, that's what I was
What
about to
round
ask
was it?
myself.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me.
starts in the third
No,
round.
I'll help you out. We start in the 3rd round,
Uh,
and then 4th, 5th,
bang.
6th. So yeah.
Round 5.
Can I?
Incorrect.
Okay.
I was about to say a
Right.
different one.
Ding.
but-
I think it's either 4 or 6. I think.
6.
Oh, it's 6, not 6.
No, I think no. It's more like
Yeah.
4, please.
4.
I think it's a quarter final.
4 is correct. Arsenal only played 2 games in the FA Cup that tournament. We played Blackpool away, where Joe Willett got a brace, and then we played Man United and got beaten at home. And I think that season, I don't know how far Man United got. I think you might have got to quarters, maybe semis. But yeah, that is 3 questions in. It's 2-0 to Ashley. The 4th question here, again, it's all about Arsenal Man United. How many times have Arsenal met Man United in the FA Cup final?
Jesus.
There's a bonus question here on offer as well.
Bloody hell. What, in the history of the FA Cup?
No, the last 10 years. Yes, the
Oh.
history of the FA Cup.
I was confused.
I have no idea. When was
Okay.
the FA Cup founded?
All right. That's a good
You don't
question.
want to know, mate. It's like older than football. It's as old as the Football League, pretty much.
Right, I can think of one. I think I can think of 2.
I'm trying to work it out in my head.
Is there a 3rd, a 4th, a
in
5th, or 6th?
terms of
In the history of the 30s and the 20s?
Ding, based off averages of the chances that there's one more, I'm going to go say 3.
Incorrect.
no, I think it's more than that. In the FA Cup final, yeah.
Yes.
No, in the round 4.
No, it might have
FA
been
Cup
in the
final.
FA Cup in general. You never know.
No, it's FA Cup final. The
I
times
just
we've
wanted to
met
clarify.
in the game.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, fair enough.
I am going to go with 7.
You're both wrong. Ashley was nearly right. It is 2. The only 2 you can think of were the only times we've met in the final at all, which is weird. We are the record
yeah,
holders
that's what I
and the
was
second
thinking of.
record holders. You'd think we'd meet more,
That's what
but
I was
clearly
thinking.
we just knock each other out in the build-up
Yeah.
more than we meet in the final.
I
We've
was trying to work it out because I thought, well,
Hang on, there's a bonus question.
There is a bonus
You
question.
can-
I'm going to
you
ask
can
you
say
here.
okay.
Can you name the years of both those finals? 2 finals.
My God, my mind's gone blank.
that. I can name one.
Okay, well, Buzz,
think-
try and name 2.
Hang on, yeah, but
Mine's
I don't
gone
want to
blank.
buzz yet because you're going to push me.
I'm going to, aren't I?
Right.
Go on.
My mind's gone completely blank.
I think, right, so it's definitely 2004. No, it's 2005, 6. No, or is it 2004, 5?
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Well, ding and try.
Okay, right. No,
My mind's
because
completely
we're in
blank.
that kit, we're in
Go.
Wembley.
Try it.
Okay. Ding. I'm pretty sure the last time we met in the final was the last time that Arsenal won the trophy before we had the drought. Okay? And I think we were wearing the same kit that the season that we won, we were in the Champions League final.
I'm rooting for you here.
I think we were, right? And it was also, I think, Vieira. But what was Vieira?
Just say the year,
Right,
mate.
I think it's 2004-5. I'm going to go with that. 2004-5, and I think the other one was 2002-3.
You're half right. 2002-3, we played Southampton in the final. And here's the thing: you got 2005 right, but you got it wrong. You said you think it was the season we won the Champions League. That was the season that one that got to the final. You said 4-5, but you nearly went 5-6. And I was like, I'm going to kill you.
But it was 4-5. Right?
It was 4-5. It was probably one of the worst finals of all time. 0-0 extra time, and Arsenal had a red card with Reyes and ended up winning on penalties.
What was the other year?
Yeah.
And the other year,
I'm going to pass.
1979, Arsenal had a 2-0 lead. Man United equalised, put it back to 2-2, and a minute after they scored, Arsenal made it 3-2 with Alan Sunderland. It's a very iconic Arsenal moment. I'm very much aware of it.
My mind went completely blank.
But yeah, 1979 and 2005. No one gets a point on that bonus question.
What's the score?
The score is still 2-0. 4 questions in. So 5th question here. Earlier, I mentioned Moises Caicedo's complete full statement.
Mm-hmm.
How many siblings does he have?
Oh my God.
Ding. I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Incorrect.
Fuck, I know it is now. It is now. I swore. Sorry. Oh, I know what it is now. I
Come
had
on,
two numbers
Jordan.
in my head.
I told you the answer earlier.
I know.
I know what it is.
What did I? I'm not going to read it out for you.
I know. Why can't I
I'm
think?
very proud of this question.
I've
Pretty
forgotten.
sure it rhymes.
Bang.
It rhymes.
5.
No, can I guess? 8.
No, you thought you knew it. No, the thing he says is I am one of 10 siblings. So he has 9 siblings.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. So I changed the wording.
Okay.
He's got 9 siblings.
Yeah,
He's one of 10. He's got 9. He's got 9 siblings.
Question. That was a sneaky question.
You know when I told you last night I've got a plan, and my plan was say the answer during the episode, and then ask you about it
fair
later.
play.
We don't listen to you. Come on, man.
You don't listen to me. You clearly don't listen. So still 2-0. Anyone can win here. In the 2018 final, Man United played Chelsea in a pretty drab 1-0 win with an Eden Hazard penalty. But what other national event took place on game day? 2018 FA Cup final.
Can you repeat the whole question?
Man United played Chelsea in the FA Cup final in 2018. But what major national event took place on the same day?
So national, I mean, it's British.
Yeah.
British, yes. Not bloody Ukraine, no, British.
2018.
What? 2018. Same day as the final.
Bang. Was there a royal wedding?
Correct. There was a royal wedding. It was Meghan Markle and Harry's royal wedding took place on the same day. And I'll be honest, it was more interesting than the final.
Yeah.
I'd have to say.
Didn't specify the actual wedding though. Just said the wedding.
Oh come on! Well, he knows it wasn't Will and Kate. You know, he knows that. And
Yeah,
the
the
thing is,
Queen got married,
there's
didn't
a few minor ones which do take place, which aren't as big, but because he's the prince, you know, it's a bit more. But yeah, it was a royal wedding. So that is 2-1 after 6 questions. 2-1 after 6 questions. 4 questions left, plus a bonus if it's a level. Okay, I mentioned Trossard earlier. I mentioned his hat-trick at Anfield. But what was special about his hat-trick specifically?
Ding. He scored all of the goals with his left foot, supposedly his weaker foot.
Correct. I was originally going to ask a question about who also scored a hat-trick at Anfield since the year 2000. That's not even going to be the bonus question, but the answer was obviously André Arshavin and Julio Baptista, both for Arsenal. Everyone who scored a hat-trick at Anfield since 2000 has at some point played for Arsenal. I just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, all with his weak foot. And the first 2 goals are near enough identical as well.
So when Benzema scores a hat-trick in the Champions League, he's just guaranteed.
Get him next year. But yeah, so it is 3-1 with 3 questions to go. If Ashley gets this question right, he's clear. Man City ended Arsenal's unbeaten run in all competitions on Friday night. But how many games was that unbeaten run? How many games did Arsenal go unbeaten? in all competitions. This doesn't include the friendlies, after the World Cup. This is just competitive games. So FA Cup, Premier League, all tournaments. How long was that unbeaten run? Keep in mind, obviously, no games played during the World Cup.
Bang, 24.
Incorrect.
Higher or lower? Don't answer that.
Damn it.
Hang on, I'm still doing
You're an
some
Arsenal
maths.
fan, you
Give
should
me some
know
numbers. I don't know, but just give me some maths. Give me some time.
I'm not going to give you the maths.
I was trying to think through it as...
I think you should get this. I'm going to give you some 5 seconds there. It's your club.
Bang. 16.
I think it's higher.
Way lower. Way lower. The answer is 7. Arsenal lost to Brighton with 1 game to go
Oh my God, I
until
forgot
the
about
World
that.
Cup. And you were at the game, Ashley.
I forgot about that.
We lost to Brighton, then beat Wolves, and then over. So
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I've given you 1 game. I've given you 1 game with that Wolves game, and I've given you a starter. As a bonus question, can you name all of those games in chronological order of the unbeaten run?
Jesus.
Some of you go.
You've got this.
No, I don't
question,
think I
surely.
do. I'm not the Arsenal fan that I used to be, if I'm honest.
Surely
In
you've got
so
this
if you name them in the
question.
wrong order, you haven't got it.
Oh my God. There's no way I'm getting this.
I think I'm not getting this. But,
Okay.
Right, but I'm going.
No.
Just go for it
We
now.
can go for it.
Ding. Wolves is first.
Yeah.
Right. After that, the first game back we played was West Ham.
Right, you've got this.
Right.
If you take too long, I'm going to cut you off. You've got 5 seconds in between each.
After that
now.
was Newcastle.
No, Brighton. Brighton on New Year's Eve. So it
Right,
was
here we go.
Wolves.
Here we go. You haven't let me have a
Yeah.
Okay,
come
you
on.
said you hadn't got
Right.
that. Well, no, but he
Wolves.
said.
Put you in a
Wolves.
good situation.
West Ham. Brighton. Right, now. Think, John. Think.
Come on, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds here.
Well, hold on.
The team has been said.
Newcastle.
Okay, yeah, go.
What the? What are you doing?
Well, look, I was literally counting down.
Then is it Man United?
No, it's Tottenham. We
Damn
played
it.
Tottenham before
Damn
you.
it. Oh, yeah, I
So
forgot
none of you
about
get
that.
it. So it is Wolves, West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Oxford. Oh God, yeah, Oxford. Yeah, I forgot you've got to Oxford. So yeah, you both screwed up. Yeah, when I made this question, I thought it was 6 because I completely forgot about the third round of the FA Cup. So yeah, you didn't say Oxford. So yeah, and then Tottenham and Man United, in which Arsenal got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins and a draw.
So it's still 3-1 with 2 questions left.
Still 3-1 with 2 questions left. And this next question has a bonus. So if you get it right on the bonus, the final question could prove fatal.
So many bonuses today.
There's a lot of bonuses because there was a
That's a
lot of
bonus.
options. So I've talked about comparing Arsenal and Man United in terms of the FA Cups. But instead of comparing them, let's combine them. How many FA Cups have Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex combined won as managers of Man United and Arsenal?
Got a figure. In my head.
How many have they won combined?
The thing that's going to...
Sir Alex obviously managing longer, from 1986.
Don't say anything else, because I'm fed up with you giving him...
I'm just saying. I'm just going to leave it at that. How many FA Cups combined between the two, giants of English football?
I'm just going to take a guess. I don't know. Oh, wait, no.
Bang. Ding.
Yep.
I think Arsene Wenger won 6. I think he did.
Okay. No, just...
And I think Sir Alex Ferguson didn't win as many as that. I think he won something like 3. So I think I'm going to go 9.
Incorrect. I'm not going to indicate how close he is.
Yeah, You've kind of thrown me off.
But,
what I was thinking.
Which manager, you've obviously got an idea of who's won more. Just think about it quickly. I'm going to show it.
What did you say?
He said 9.
I'm not saying anything.
Go on.
12.
Bang on. Bang on.
That was just a random
Bang
guess, I
on.
can't lie.
Okay.
Ferguson got...
Ferguson, I'm not going to say, because the bonus question is what's the score between Wenger and
Jesus.
Ferguson.
No, I don't know.
He's going to get the clear because he won the question. He gets the clear for the
I don't
bonus
know.
question.
Oh, do I not get to go?
If neither of you get it right, I'll open it up. But because he's won it, I'm going to give it to him.
I have no idea.
So all you know is it needs to add to 12.
Are you
Yeah.
passing to me?
You can't
No,
pass it.
I'm not
allowed
passing
that.
to you.
Well, so even if he gets it wrong, I can't.
I mean, I'll let you say it, but I'm not going to give you the point because you got the first one
All right,
wrong.
all right.
I don't know.
It's got to add to 12. Who do you think, like, just think. It can't be even, can it?
Stop.
Oh, no, it can. It's an even number.
8-4.
Nope, it is 7-5.
Yeah, I thought it was
7-5. Arsene Wenger's
I
won.
thought you were going to let.
Arsene Wenger's.
You were gonna let
Well,
you
no,
go.
you're
I'm
clearly
going
going
to
to
say 7-5.
Arsene Wenger's the record holder. And actually, the weird thing is, he didn't actually win any FA Cups for Man United after like the year 2000.
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
forgot Wenger won 7.
His last FA Cup was in 1999, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Arsene Wenger 7. Let me
Arsene
guess.
Wenger, an FA Cup actually saved his job,
So 90.
beating Palace in 1990.
That's Ferguson.
Ferguson. Yeah, and I think he beat Liverpool in the final, I'm pretty sure. And there's like a few there.
So
And,
Arsenal had 98, they had 02.
98, 02, 03, 05, and then 14, 15,
Yeah.
17.
I forgot
7.
03.
But yeah, 7-5 is the score. No one gets there. So it's 3-2 in the final question. If you get this right, the bonus question will be used. The bonus question is a closest to figure. So
bugger.
that's interesting.
Come on.
Final question. Caicedo mentioned in his statement his potential transfer fee being the highest of Brighton's ever sale. What is Brighton's highest ever sale?
Ding.
Who's the player?
Mark Cucurella.
Is the correct answer. It's Mark Cucurella. Second is Benjamin White. Mark Cucurella. The bonus question was going to be this. Who can get the closest to the fee in pounds? I
Ding.
got this off Transfermarkt.
Okay. Ding. All right, I mean, it doesn't matter, so shall I just
Yeah,
say
just-
Say it.
55 million, I think it was.
You're going to say 55?
No, I think you've got it bang on.
In a pound? No, give your answer. You can change it in pounds.
I don't know. 54.5. I don't know.
You literally just had to go higher and you'd have got it. It's 57.28 million
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
in
It doesn't-
pounds, and it's
doesn't
like
matter.
it's 64 million euros. But Ashley wins 4-2. A pretty
I
tight
think we
affair.
need a VAR check on that bang and ding.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I started.
Yeah,
However,
because
I
it's
thought that was
done.
clear. I thought
It's
that was
finished.
clear.
Referee's made his decision.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Felt like I was away from home. That,
We'll
that
check
quiz, same
if
thing.
you could have had a go there, and I could have made you do rock paper scissors, but you let him say it.
you just turned to him and went, "What's the answer?"
Well, no, I thought you said ding. So okay, well, if I may stay there, fair enough. But
So
that's the end of the quiz. It was a pretty good one. You did yourself proud. You both. It's 4-2. Says a few questions missing, and I gave you bonuses as well, and didn't really help out with the points tally at all. But Ashley, you win the quiz, and I think that is the end of the episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. We've had a long discussion, Brighton doing well, Caicedo, and a fun quiz to top it all off. We'll be back next week with Jordan hosting, but until then, that's all for the Footballing Question, and we'll see you next week.